The wolf world trembles as the battle between light and darkness reaches its peak. Aurion, the last hope of the wolves, has faced unimaginable challenges, but the true test lies ahead. The Shadow King, an ancient force of malevolence, has risen to claim the world as his own. As the final confrontation looms, the fate of all hangs in the balance. In this chapter, alliances will be tested, sacrifices will be made, and the true power of the ancients will be unleashed. The time has come for the final shadow to fall. The chapter opens with a wide shot of the wolf world, its once vibrant landscapes now shrouded in darkness. The sky is a swirling mass of storm clouds, crackling with dark energy as the Shadow King's influence spreads like a plague. The air is thick with tension and a sense of foreboding hangs over everything. Aurion stands at the forefront of his pack, his eyes locked on the horizon where the storm is at its darkest. His fur, glowing with the power of the ancients, is now a mix of light and shadow, a visual representation of the internal struggle he faces. The weight of his responsibilities is heavy, but his resolve is unbreakable.
Aurion, the Shadow King's power is growing stronger by the minute. We must strike now before it's too late.
This will be our final battle, Mistwalker. We either vanquish the darkness or perish with the light. There is no turning back.
The wolves of Aurion's pack, hardened by the battles they have fought, gather around him. Each one is ready to give their all for the sake of the wolf world. They know that this is their last stand, and they are prepared to face whatever comes. The wolves make their way toward the heart of the storm, where the Shadow King awaits. The journey is treacherous, with the dark energy of the storm lashing out at them at every turn. The ground beneath their paws is unstable, and the very air seems to be filled with malice. As they approach the Shadow King's lair, the storm intensifies, the winds howling with fury. The shadows grow thicker, almost tangible, as if trying to consume the wolves before they can reach their destination. But Aurion's light cuts through the darkness, guiding the pack forward. At last, they arrive at the Shadow King's domain, a massive, ominous structure built from the very essence of the shadows. The air here is thick with dark energy, and the ground is littered with the remnants of those who have fallen before. The Shadow King stands atop a darkened throne, his eyes glowing with an unholy light.
Shadow King, your reign of terror ends here. I will not allow you to consume this world in darkness.
Foolish wolf, you think you can stop me? The darkness is eternal, it cannot be defeated. It is your destiny to fall before me as all others have.
Without warning, the Shadow King unleashes a wave of dark energy, a force so powerful that it sends the wolves reeling. But Aurion stands firm, summoning the power of the ancients to form a shield around his pack. The energy clashes with Aurion's light, the impact shaking the very earth. The battle begins in earnest, with the wolves charging at the Shadow King, their attacks coordinated and fierce. But the Shadow King is no ordinary foe. He moves with a speed and agility that defies his massive size, his attacks precise and devastating. One by one, the wolves are thrown back, their strength no match for the Shadow King's power. Aurion, drawing upon the full might of the ancients, engages the Shadow King in a direct confrontation. The two forces clash with a ferocity that shakes the heavens, their power lighting up the stormy sky. The ground beneath them cracks and splinters, the air filled with the sounds of their roars and growls. As the battle rages on, it becomes clear that the Shadow King's power is overwhelming. Even with the strength of the ancients, Aurion is pushed to his limits. The wolves that remain are battered and bruised, their energy nearly spent, but they refuse to give up, fighting with a determination born of desperation.
In a moment of clarity, Aurion realizes that the only way to defeat the Shadow King is to sacrifice the very power that has sustained him, the power of the ancients. He knows that doing so will likely mean his own end, but he is willing to make that sacrifice for the sake of the wolf world. Aurion turns to Mistwalker, his voice filled with resolve. Mistwalker, you must lead the pack. If I fall, you must carry on the fight. Promise me.
Mistwalker, his eyes filled with emotion, nods. I promise, Aurion, but don't do this. We need you.
Aurion smiles sadly. The world needs you, Mistwalker. This is my destiny. Go and protect our world.
With that, Aurion draws upon the last of his strength, summoning the full power of the ancients. His body glows with an intense light, brighter than anything the wolf world has ever seen. The Shadow King, sensing the danger, charges at Aurion, but it is too late. Aurion unleashes the power in a blinding explosion of light, a force so powerful that it rips through the darkness, consuming everything in its path. The Shadow King lets out a roar of fury as he is engulfed by the light, his form dissolving into nothingness. The storm begins to dissipate, the shadows retreating as the light spreads across the land. When the light fades, the wolves find themselves standing in a world that is both familiar and changed. The sky is clear, the storm gone, and the air is filled with the scent of new beginnings, but Aurion is nowhere to be seen.
Mistwalker stands at the center of the battlefield, his heart heavy with grief. The wolves gather around him, their eyes filled with sorrow for the loss of their leader. But there is also a sense of hope, a hope that Aurion's sacrifice was not in vain, that the world he saved will endure. Mistwalker raises his head, his voice carrying across the land. Aurion has given us a second chance. We must honor his sacrifice by protecting this world, by standing against the darkness wherever it may arise. We are the wolves of Aurion, and we will not falter.
The wolves let out a howl, a tribute to their fallen leader, and a vow to carry on his legacy. The howl echoes across the land, a reminder that the light will always prevail, no matter how dark the night.
As the chapter draws to a close, the wolf world now bathed in the warm light of a new dawn. Aurion's voice echoes one final time, filled with hope and determination. The final shadow has fallen, but the journey is far from over. The wolf world has been saved, but there will always be new challenges, new threats to face. Join us as we continue this epic saga, as we honor the memory of those who have fallen and fight for the future of our world.
Join the pack, Black X Wolf Entertainment. If you've been moved by this epic conclusion and want to continue the journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Black X Wolf Entertainment. The story continues, and we want you to be a part of it.